Have you ever washed your hair, spent hours styling it, and still ended up with either an oily mess at the roots or dry, brittle ends? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. The truth is, most of us are fighting two separate problems at once without even realizing it, and it's not just about shampoo, it's about understanding your hair on a deeper level. Today, I'm going to show you the secret to fixing both oily and dry hair, so you can finally have a healthy, balanced blowout that lasts. First, let's talk about oily hair. When your scalp produces too much oil, it's not always because you're overwashing. In fact, overwashing can actually make it worse. Your scalp has a natural oil called sebum, which is meant to protect your hair and keep it hydrated. But when you strip it away too often, your scalp panics and produces even more oil. The key is balance. Using a gentle, sulfate-free shampoo that targets oil without overdrying your scalp is essential. Focus on the roots when washing and try to avoid heavy conditioners there. That's where your hair gets weighed down and greasy the fastest. Now, on the other side, we have dry hair. The ends of your hair can become dry for several reasons: heat styling, environmental stress, chemical treatments, or even genetics. But here's the thing, your ends don't get the natural oils from your scalp as easily as the roots. That's why you need targeted hydration. Look for lightweight leave-in conditioners or hair oils, applied sparingly to the ends. You don't want to weigh down your hair, but you do want to give it the nourishment it's missing. Here's the real secret. The trick is not treating oily and dry hair as separate problems. Your hair is a system, and it needs a strategy that works for both ends. Start with a proper washing technique. Shampoo the scalp, rinse thoroughly, and then condition the ends only. Use a wide-tooth comb to distribute natural oils from roots to tips, giving your ends some protection without making your roots greasy. And when styling, always use heat protectant sprays. Excessive heat can dry out the ends while making the roots overproduce oil in response to damage. Another game changer is adjusting your routine to your hair type and lifestyle. If you exercise a lot or live in a humid environment, you might need to wash more frequently, but stick to gentle shampoos. If your hair is colored or chemically treated, hydration is your priority, so focus on nourishing masks and oils a few times a week. Little changes make a huge difference over time. Lastly, don't forget diet and hydration. Drinking enough water and eating nutrient-rich foods like salmon, nuts, leafy greens, and eggs can improve your hair's natural balance from the inside out. Healthy hair isn't just about what you put on it, it's about what you put in your body too. So if you've been struggling with that frustrating combo of oily roots and dry ends, take a step back and treat your hair like the dynamic system it is. Focus on balancing oil production, protecting the ends, and using smart styling techniques. With the right routine, you can have a blowout that's smooth, shiny, and balanced from root to tip every single day. If you want, I can also make a version with a natural flow for a 7 to 10 minute YouTube video, including natural pauses, engaging questions to viewers, and hooks for retention. It'll read like you're talking directal to your audience, perfect for filming. When it comes to hair care, one of the most common problems people face is having oily roots and dry ends at the same time. It's a frustrating combination because the typical solutions for one problem often make the other worse. Overwash to combat oil, and your ends become even drier. Overcondition to hydrate the ends, and the roots get weighed down and greasy. The key to solving this is balance. Treating your hair not as separate parts, but as one interconnected system, where each section has its own needs and demands. Let's start by understanding why oily roots happen in the first place. The scalp naturally produces an oil called sebum. Sebum is not the enemy, in fact, it's essential. It nourishes the scalp, protects hair follicles, and provides a natural barrier that keeps your hair shiny and hydrated. But problems arise when the scalp produces too much oil or when our habits disrupt its natural rhythm. Overwashing is a big culprit here, and why people believe that washing hair every day will keep it clean and fresh, but the opposite often happens. When you strip away the natural oils too frequently, the scalp senses this as a deficit and overcompensates by producing even more oil. The result? Greasy roots that appear almost immediately after washing. But that's just half the battle. The other half is your hair ends, which are often dry and brittle. Why do the ends suffer while the roots are oily? It's all about distance from the source of natural oils. Sebum travels down the hair shaft slowly, and by the time it reaches the ends, especially in longer hair, it may not provide sufficient moisture. Add heat styling, sun exposure, chemical treatments, or even friction from brushing, and you end up with ends that are thirsty, rough, and prone to breakage. Here's where the concept of balance comes in. The goal is to treat your hair as a single system rather than as two opposing problems. This means using products and techniques how to address each section appropriately without creating new issues. The most effective strategy is to shampoo only the scalp and roots with a gentle, sulfate-free shampoo. Sulfates are strong detergents that can strip oil too aggressively, which is exactly what we want to avoid. Instead, choose a shampoo formulated to remove excess oil without overdrying. When washing, focus on massaging the scalp. This not only cleans the roots but also stimulates blood flow, which encourages healthy hair growth. Avoid piling conditioner near the scalp because it can weigh the hair down and make the roots greasy. Conditioning is where the ends get the attention they deserve. Apply conditioner only from the mid-lengths to the tips of your hair. This ensures that the ends receive hydration without overloading the roots. For extremely dry ends, lightweight leave-in conditioners or nourishing hair oils can provide additional moisture. The key is moderation. Apply a small amount and avoid touching the SCA. This technique allows the hair to retain natural oil balance while repairing and protecting the ends. Another important aspect of achieving balance is brushing. Many people brush aggressively from the roots to the tips, which can sometimes make oil distribution uneven. The correct technique is to start at the ends and gently work your way up, detangling carefully and gradually moving toward the scalp. Once the hair is detangled, a few gentle strokes from roots to ends can help distribute natural oils evenly. This simple step helps nourish the ends while keeping the roots from becoming too oily too quickly. It's also crucial to consider your styling tools. Heat can exacerbate both oiliness and dryness. Hot tools such as flat irons and blow dryers can strip the hair of moisture, drying out the ends, and simultaneously signal the scalp to produce more oil as a protective response. Always use a heat protectant spray and try to keep the heat at moderate levels. Air drying whenever POS. Sebel is also beneficial, as it allows your hair's natural oil balance to stay intact. When it comes to the products themselves, look for formulas that support this balanced approach. Shampoos with gentle cleansing agents, conditioners with lightweight hydration, and oils that are easily absorbed without leaving residue are ideal. Avoid heavy creams near the scalp and instead reserve richer treatments for the tips. Hair masks can also be extremely effective but should be applied selectively, focusing on the ends rather than the roots. A mask once or twice a week can dramatically improve the texture and strength of dry ends without tipping the scalp into overproduction of oil. Lifestyle factors also play a surprising role in hair balance. Diet, hydration, and overall health affect both oil production and hair hydration. Drinking enough water helps maintain natural moisture levels in both the scalp and ends. Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, such as salmon and flaxseed, support scalp health and encourage natural oil production without overdoing it. Vitamins and minerals, including biotin, zinc, and vitamin E, are essential for strong, resilient hair. Consistency is another critical factor. Achieving balance is not about a one-time treatment, it's about creating a routine that your hair can rely on. Stick to your washing schedule, use conditioner and oil strategically, and protect your hair from excessive heat or chemical damage. Over time, your scalp learns the rhythm and the ends become healthier, stronger, and hydrated. Finally, remember that every person's hair is unique. Factors such as hair thickness, porosity, environmental exposure, and even genetics can affect how oily or dry your hair gets. The balanced approach we're discussing is adaptable. It's about observing your hair, understanding its needs, and responding thoughtfully rather than following generic advice. Some people may need to shampoo every other day, others twice a week. Some may benefit from a heavier oil treatment on the ends, others from a lighter spray. The key is to pay attention, experiment gently, and adjust your routine accordingly. In summary, the secret to fixing oily roots and dry ends simultaneously is balance. Treat the scalp and roots differently from the ends. Use gentle and targeted products. Maintain proper technique. Protect your hair from heat. Nourish it from the inside and establish a consistent routine. By approaching your hair as a single system with different needs for different parts, you can finally achieve a healthy, smooth, and manageable blowout every time. Oily roots and dry ends no longer need to be a dilemma. They can coexist in harmony when approached with knowledge and care. Once you understand this concept, everything else falls into place. Your hair becomes easier to style, more resilient, and more beautiful. The results are not instant. They require patience, attention, and consistency. But once your hair is balanced, the transformation dramatic. The days of greasy roots or brittle ends are over. With the right approach, your hair can finally look and feel healthy from scalp to tip. If you want, I can also expand Keynote 2 and Keynote 3 in the same style, each hitting 2,000 words, so you'll have a complete set of YouTube-ready content that's in-depth and highly watchable. When it comes to maintaining healthy, beautiful hair, technique, and routine are just as important as the products you use. Many people assume that as long as they have the right shampoo, conditioner, or styling tools, their hair will take care of itself. But the truth is, how you wash, condition, and style your hair can dramatically impact its health, balance, and appearance. Understanding the right techniques and developing a consistent routine is the secret to solving common hair problems like oily roots, dry ends, frizz, and breakage. Let's start with washing, the foundation of any hair care routine. Washing hair might seem straightforward. Why? Wet it, apply shampoo, lather, rinse. But there's actually a lot more to it. The key is to treat the scalp and hair ends differently. Your scalp produces natural oils that protect your hair, but if you focus shampooing too much on the ends, you can strip them of what little moisture they already have. The best approach is to concentrate shampoo primarily on the scalp and roots. Use your fingertips, not your nails, to gently massage the scalp in circular motions. This not only cleanses but stimulates blood flow to hair follicles, which is essential for healthy growth. Avoid scrubbing aggressively, as this can irritate the scalp, trigger excess oil production, and even cause micro damage to hair strands. When rinsing, make sure to remove all shampoo from the scalp. Residue can weigh hair down, make roots greasy, and even lead to itchiness or flakiness. Use lukewarm water instead of hot water, because excessively hot water strips natural oils more aggressively, leaving the scalp overcompensating with more oil production and the ends more dry. Lukewarm water is gentle and effective. It cleanses without shocking your hair's natural balance. Conditioning comes next, and this is where technique really makes a difference. While shampoo targets the roots, conditioner targets the ends. The mid-lengths to tips of your hair are the oldest and most vulnerable parts, which means they need hydration, repair, and protection. Apply conditioner generously to these areas and avoid the scalp unless your hair is extremely dry. Over-conditioning the scalp can weigh down your roots, making oily hair worse. When applying conditioner, gently comb through your hair with your fingers or a wide-tooth comb. This helps distribute the product evenly, detangle knots, and prevent breakage. Avoid harsh rubbing, as wet hair is fragile and more prone to snapping. Rinsing conditioner also requires attention. For most hair types, a thorough rinse is important so the hair isn't left heavy or sticky, which can make styling difficult and contribute to buildup. Some people may benefit from a leave-in conditioner for extra hydration, but again, apply it sparingly and focus on the ends. The goal is to hydrate without tipping the natural oil balance off in either direction. Once washing and conditioning are complete, it's time to focus on oil distribution. Many people don't realize that natural scalp oils can be an ally if managed correctly. The right technique allows sebum to travel down the hair shaft to naturally moisturize the ends. Use a wide-tooth comb or your fingers to gently distribute oils from roots to tips. Start at the bottom and work upward when detangling to minimize breakage, then lightly brush from roots to ends to help natural oils coat the hair. This step is simple but highly effective in preventing the extremes of oily roots and dry ends. Now let's talk about styling, which is often where people unknowingly damage their hair and disrupt its balance. Heat styling, done incorrectly, can dry out ends, make hair brittle, and even stimulate excess oil production in response to damage. The solution is heat protection. Always apply a heat protectant spray or serum before using tools like blow dryers, curling irons, or flat irons. Heat protectants form a barrier that minimizes moisture loss and protects the cuticle from damage. Additionally, keep heat at moderate levels. High heat is not necessary for most styles and can cause cumulative damage over time. Blow drying itself can be optimized for balance. Start by gently squeezing excess water from your hair with a microfiber towel. Avoid vigorous rubbing, which creates frizz and split ends. Use a nozzle attachment on your blow dryer to direct airflow and prevent over-drying specific sections. When blow drying, point the airflow downward, following the natural direction of the hair cuticle. This not only smooths the hair and adds shine, but also helps distribute oils naturally from the scalp down to the ends. Another important aspect of routine is consistency. Hair health is cumulative, meaning that one day of perfect care won't erase months of neglect or poor technique. Establish a washing schedule that suits your hair type. For oily hair, this may be every other day or every 2 days. For dry hair, less frequent washing may be better to prevent stripping natural oils. Conditioning, deep treatments, and masks should also have a regular cadence. Hair masks, for example, are highly effective for hydration and repair, but they should be applied mainly to mid-lengths and ends to prevent weighing down the roots. Routine also extends to your daily styling choices. Avoid tight hairstyles that pull on the hair shaft, which can cause breakage, hair loss, or scalp stress. Limit chemical treatments like bleaching or perming, as they compromise the hair's structure and make it more difficult to maintain a healthy balance between roots and ends. Simple protective measures like silk pillowcases, gentle hair ties, and minimal friction during sleep contribute to healthier hair over time. Diet, hydration, and lifestyle tie directly into technique and routine as well. Even the most meticulous hair care routine cannot fully compensate for nutrient deficiencies or dehydration. Adequate protein intake supports keratin production, while omega-3 fatty acids help scalp health. Vitamins like biotin, zinc, and vitamin E strengthen hair and maintain a natural oil balance. Drinking sufficient water ensures hydration reaches the hair from the inside out, complementing the external care you provide through washing, conditioning, and styling. Incorporating these techniques into a routine is not about rigid perfection, it's about awareness and consistency. Watch how your hair responds and make adjustments as needed. For example, if your roots get greasy faster than expected, spacing out shampooing and focusing on targeted conditioning may help. If your ends are still dry despite careful care, consider a weekly hydrating mask or lightweight hair oil applied to tips. The key is observation and fine-tuning. Finally, mindset matters. Treat your hair like a system, not just a cosmetic accessory. Understand that oily roots, dry ends, frizz, and breakage are often symptoms of imbalance, not isolated problems. By adopting proper washing, conditioning, and styling techniques, you create a routine that harmonizes these sections. The results? Hair that looks healthy, feels soft and manageable, and responds well to styling. You'll notice less frizz, less oil buildup, and smoother, more hydrated ends. Over time, the cumulative effect of good technique and consistent routine transforms hair from problematic to resilient and beautiful. In summary, proper technique and routine are crucial for maintaining hair health. Wash gently, focus shampoo on roots, condition the ends, distribute natural oils carefully, and protect hair from heat damage. Combine this with consistent schedules, mindful styling, and internal support from nutrition and hydration, and you'll be on the path to balanced, healthy hair that looks great from root to tip every single day. Technique isn't just a detail, it's the foundation of lasting, beautiful results when it comes to achieving healthy, balanced hair. Most people focus on external treatments, shampoos, conditioners, oils, masks, and styling tools. While those things are important, there's a part of the equation that's often overlooked. Your internal support system, what you eat, drink, and how you live, has a profound effect on your hair's appearance, texture, and resilience. Nutrition, hydration, and lifestyle choices aren't just nice to have. They're essential. Without this internal foundation, even the best hair care products and routines can only take you so far. Let's start with nutrition, because food is literally the building block of hair. Hair is made primarily of a protein called keratin. To produce strong, healthy hair, your body needs a steady supply of high-quality protein. Sources like eggs, lean meats, fish, legumes, nuts, and seeds provide the amino acids that form keratin. If your diet lacks sufficient protein, your hair can become weak, brittle, and prone to breakage. You might notice slow growth or hair shedding, even if your scalp and ends are properly cared for externally. But protein alone isn't enough. Vitamins and minerals play a critical role in maintaining hair structure and regulating natural oil production. For example, biotin, vitamin B7, is well known for supporting keratin production and strengthening hair. Foods like eggs, almonds, sweet potatoes, and spinach are rich in biotin and can help improve hair resilience over time. Zinc is another essential mineral. It contributes to healthy scalp function and oil regulation. A deficiency in zinc can lead to increased hair shedding or dry, brittle ends. Foods like pumpkin seeds, oysters, and beef are excellent sources of zinc. Iron is often overlooked but is crucial, especially for women. Low iron levels reduce oxygen delivery to hair follicles, which can slow growth and increase shedding. Lean red meats, lentils, and leafy greens are rich in iron, and pairing them with vitamin C-rich foods improves absorption. Vitamin C itself is also essential because it helps produce collagen, a protein that strengthens the hair shaft and promotes elasticity, reducing breakage. Think citrus fruits, strawberries, and bell peppers. Omega-3 fatty acids are another cornerstone for healthy hair. These healthy fats, found in fatty fish like salmon, chia seeds, flaxseed, and walnuts, help nourish the scalp, reduce inflammation, and maintain natural oil balance. A well-nourished scalp produces optimal sebum, which hydrates the hair naturally without leaving it greasy. Without adequate omega-3s, hair can become dry, dull, and more prone to split ends. Hydration is just as important as nutrition. Hair is around 25% water by weight, and the moisture E levels in your hair determine its elasticity, shine, and overall manageability. Dehydration affects the scalp and hair alike. Dry scalps may overproduce oil as a protective response, while dry ends become brittle and more prone to breakage. Drinking sufficient water throughout the day is critical, but it's not just about water alone. Hydrating foods like fruits and vegetables contribute to internal hydration and provide essential vitamins and antioxidants that combat oxidative stress, which can weaken hair over time. Watermelon, cucumbers, oranges, and berries are excellent examples of foods that hydrate and nourish simultaneously. Lifestyle factors go hand in hand with nutrition and hydration. Stress, sleep, and exercise all have a significant impact on hair health. Chronic stress increases cortisol levels, which can disrupt the hair growth cycle and even trigger hair loss conditions like telogen effluvium. Developing stress management strategies such as meditation, deep breathing, yoga, or even daily walks helps regulate cortisol and supports healthy hair growth. Sleep is equally vital. Hair growth and repair occur mostly during the deep sleep phase, so consistent quality sleep allows your body to produce hormones and nutrients necessary for hair health. Adults should aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night for optimal results. Exercise isn't just for your body, it benefits hair too. Regular physical activity improves circulation, ensuring that oxygen and nutrients reach hair follicles efficiently. Better blood flow means stronger, healthier hair and a scalp that functions properly. Even simple activities like brisk walking, swimming, or strength training can have a positive impact. Combined with proper nutrition and hydration, exercise completes the triad of internal support for hair. It's also important to consider habits that can undermine your internal support. Smoking, for example, reduces blood flow to the scalp and introduces toxins that damage hair follicles. Excessive alcohol intake can lead to dehydration and nutrient deficiencies that weaken hair. Processed foods high in sugar and refined carbohydrates can trigger inflammation, which affects the scalp and hair growth cycle. Minimizing these factors while focusing on nutrient-rich, whole foods maximizes your hair's potential. Supplements can also be an option when diet alone isn't sufficient. Biotin, zinc, vitamin D, omega-3 fatty acids, and collagen supplements can support hair growth and overall scalp health. However, supplements should complement a balanced diet, not replace it. Real food provides a complex array of nutrients and cofactors that work synergistically, something supplements can rarely replicate on their own. Another critical point is consistency. Just like external hair care, internal support requires regular attention. Eating a nutritious diet one day and returning to processed foods the next won't yield lasting results. Similarly, staying hydrated for a day won't reverse months of dry ends or oily scalp issues. Hair grows slowly, on average about half an inch per month, so it takes consistent internal support over weeks and months to see meaningful improvements in strength, texture, and shine. Patience is key. Internal support also interacts directly with external care. Even the best shampoo or conditioning routine cannot fully compensate for a poor diet or dehydration. Conversely, optimal nutrition and hydration make your hair more resilient, meaning products and styling tools can work more effectively without causing damage. Your hair essentially becomes self-supporting, strong, hydrated end. Resist breakage, and a balanced scalp produces just the right amount of natural oils. Finally, mindset and awareness are important. Many people overlook the connection between lifestyle and hair health because results aren't immediate. Unlike a shampoo that makes hair look shiny instantly, internal changes are gradual but far more sustainable. Understanding that your hair's health is a reflection of your overall health empowers you to make better choices, not just for your hair, but for your whole body. In summary, supporting hair from the inside out is non-negotiable for achieving balanced, healthy hair. Nutrition provides the building blocks for strong strands, hydration maintains elasticity and shine, and lifestyle choices influence growth cycles and scalp health. By focusing on protein, essential vitamins and minerals, omega-3 fatty acids, water intake, stress management, sleep, and exercise, you give your hair the tools it needs to thrive. When combined with proper external care, washing, conditioning, and styling, internal support completes the foundation for hair that looks and feels its best. So, if you've been struggling with oily roots, dry ends, or hair that just doesn't behave, remember this: Beautiful hair doesn't start in the salon, it starts inside. Nourish your body, hydrate consistently, maintain a healthy lifestyle, and your hair will naturally reflect those efforts. Over time, you'll see not only better hair balance, but improved strength, shine, and overall vitality. Your internal routine is just as important, if not more so, than any external product, and mastering this part of hair care is what separates temporary fixes from lasting results.